Great.
All right, awesome. It's a little bit past noon, so if you don't mind, I'm going to call the meeting to order. The first order of business is always, well, first of all, we have a new board member that I'd like to welcome. We have Miguel Velasquez, who is the CEO of the Regional Transit System. Ana, maybe you'd like to make some comments about Miguel, then after that, Miguel, if you'd like to say anything to the board and to the general body, you're more than welcome. But welcome.
Certainly. Thank you, Truman, and
Sure.
Welcome, Miguel. Miguel was recently appointed by President Iversha Rahman of the Mono County Legislature and is the President and CEO of RTS and RGRTA, and thus is very well versed, not just in how our workforce gets to work, but also in how Albany governs and oversees public authorities and nonprofits. So, Miguel, welcome. I'm going to give you a moment to introduce yourself if you'd like.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being here. It's a pleasure. Thank you for the welcoming. See some familiar faces, which is great. But again, my name is Miguel Velasquez. I've been with RTS actually 26 years, 3 years as CEO. My wife and I live in Pittsford. We're empty nesters, basically. One is out of college, one is in college right now. We've been there 17 years. So very much part of the community, and thank you for being here. It's great.
Thank you. We're excited that as a transit leader, you have a seat at this table too, because transportation is number one. Between transportation and childcare, those are the two biggest barriers to the workforce, and those are conversations we have with them. Thanks for being here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Pledge of Allegiance. Brian, do you mind leading us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. The next order of business is the approval of the minutes from last month's meeting, which took place on November 18th, 2025. The minutes from the last meeting have been, previously circulated to all members of the board. And so, that being the case, take a vote, all in favor, or if there are any opposed or any abstentions to approve the minutes from last month's meeting.
Need a motion? So move.
Seconded.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
No, you don't have to vote on this one. Okay, all right, the motion carries. All right, cool. Moving on, we have public comments. Has anyone signed up for public comments? Robin?
No.
Okay, great, no public comments. Next order of business, we have the local labor monitoring report. Kevin Wilkie.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Kevin. How are you? Welcome.
Good, thank you. All right, so I'm going to start with our November reporting, reflecting our visits between the 1st and 30th of November 2025. We made 55 monthly site visits during this period. We had 3 follow-up visits, checked residency with 452 workers. We had 5 issues of non-compliance, all of which were no proof of residence over 3 different projects. And there were no new COMIDA signs delivered during November.
Awesome. Thank you.
Questions on that report?
Any questions, comments? Okay.
Jump into the exemptions.
Exemptions?
Sorry, I beat you to it.
No, no worries.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So we only had one approved exemption for November. It was for the Howard Bayview project, and it's Henderson Johnson, which is the floor leveling gypcrete, which we've been over time and time again. I can get into the whole thing if you'd like me to, but there's again no local labor available, and we have active communication with the trades, waiting for a contractor to hopefully get started, but not yet.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
We've been over that a number of occasions.
Mm-hmm.
What is it with there's no local labor?
There's not a lot of money in it, and unless a contractor has more to the scope aside from just the gypcrete and the floor leveling, they're not willing to do it. It's a very messy job. And Henderson Johnson and Truax and Hovey, both based in Syracuse, Onondaga County, they're the only ones willing to make the trip to do that messy but necessary work. Because almost on every project we deal with, it seems like every other project has an exemption for this service. So,
Thank you.
it's a shame. Otherwise, any questions on that?
Any
All right,
questions?
have a great day.
Take care.
Thank you,
Thank
Kevin.
you.
Thanks,
Sure.
Kevin.
Moving on, the next item on the agenda is the financial reports. Greg, turn over to you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Good afternoon. So financials through our 11 months down the home stretch here, you can see our cash is down from where it was at the end of December, mainly due to our investments in our treasuries. The cash grant funding, again, we did receive our second tranche of about $9.4 million, which is part of the Fast New York program. We have previously spent and reimbursed RG&E about $5 million so far year to date on that. Our investments about $17.3 million. Again, we do have a treasury coming due in January. We'll rely on HPA to figure out what that best strategy is as these rates kind of bounce around a little bit to figure out what we're going to do with that. You can see we don't generally need the cash right this second, so we'll look to do something there. I would say overall, all of our other assets and liabilities are in line with our budgets and expectations, down to the summary of statement of activities. Again, a pretty quiet month for November. You can see there our fee income, again, as we have talked about at great length in prior meetings. We're ahead of budget right now, but we have budgeted a significant revenue piece in December, which most of our revenue would always hit. We don't think we're going to get that big hit this year, right? So we do think we're going to be about $1 million short in our fee revenue this year. However, that is offset by our increase in our interest that we're earning on our investments, probably about $300,000, and then the sale of the Brew Road property, which was about $225,000. So that'll offset some of that shortfall in that fee revenue in terms of overall budget compared to budget. In terms of our expenses, again, everything's generally in line except with our program and community development, which is the most of that is our workforce development fund. Again, as our revenue falls short, we do think our expenses in that program are going to fall short of what we anticipate. We anticipate spending about $600,000 less than we had budgeted. And again, we just think that's relatively a timing difference. That'll all probably go out the door sometime in 2026. So overall, our deficit right now is about $1.26 million. Our overall budgeted deficit is about 1.7, which I do think, with all those pluses and minuses on those four big levers, I do think we're going to come in pretty close to that, as we're short in revenue, but we're also short in expenses. So pretty interesting way to get to that number that we had budgeted for about a little over a year ago. So all according to budget, and again, a bunch of different pieces that make that up.
Sure. Awesome. Pretty much in line with the financial report that we received last month. Again, the financial statements were previously circulated to the board. I assume everyone has had an opportunity to review them. Are there any comments or questions at this point? Okay, all right, excellent. Thank you, Greg. All right, moving on. The next agenda items that we have are the new projects and the modifications. And so this month we have 3 new projects and 10 modifications. The first project that we have for consideration is Advanced Glass Industries, DBA Evolve Optic. Anna, would you please read us the project summary?
Thank you, Chairman.
Great, thank you.
Advanced Glass Industries, DBA Evolve Optic, an optical blanks manufacturer, is proposing the renovation of 1390 Mount Read Boulevard, a 74,000 square foot building located in the city of Rochester. Renovations to the manufacturing areas, office space, break rooms, and restrooms will allow Evolve Optic to consolidate its existing operations into one location while expanding its optics product offerings. This is a $690,000 project, which is projected to create 20 new FTEs in addition to retaining an existing 80 FTEs. The applicant is seeking approval of a sales tax exemption only, and the benefit to incentive ratio is 376 to 1.
Excellent. We do have a representative here with us today, Ted Mooney, President. Ted, would you like to join us and make any comments?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Sure.
And my name is Ted Mooney. I'm the president of Evolve Optic. been in the optics industry about 25 years, but been part of this team for 2 years now. And since I've been part of the team, we've been growing very, very rapidly. And I appreciate the overview of the description of what we're doing. But essentially, we have 2 facilities here in Rochester. So we want to bring those facilities together, but more importantly, get us room to grow. So we have a lot of potential projects coming up. We've already done the layout. Looks like we're gonna quickly fill this space and enable us to bring those additional jobs in. I also brought Controller Kevin here. Kevin, you wanna give a quick summary of the project?
So as Ted mentioned, we have 2 locations now. We have a location down on Ormond Street in Rochester and a location on Emerson Street in Rochester. And we're bringing those facilities together into one location on Mount Reed Boulevard. Right now, the building needs some work. Right now, the restrooms are primarily male based, where we need to do some modifications there to accommodate additional female restroom space. There needs to be ventilation work done for the equipment, power work done to accommodate the equipment, front office renovations, as well as all the IT related cabling and infrastructure for the IT. And then some HVAC work.
Any questions, folks?
Any questions from the board?
What's your plan for the property on Ormond Street?
Ormond Street is, so we currently lease that.
Okay,
So we plan to exit that facility on Ormond Street.
thank you.
For those of us who don't know, what is an optical blank?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot of optics here in Rochester, but the starting point for any of those optics that are made come from the raw material, which Corning makes and a few other companies. But the next step is to turn that into the near net shape of the finished optic. So we buy the bulk material from the material providers and do the rough shaping. And then sell that to all the optical component providers here in Rochester, but also around the country, around the world. What we're expanding into is the equipment that's coming in. We're going to start making and finishing the very large optical components. So as commercial space grows, all these space-based telescopes that need to be going up, we're going to be standing up the capability to do the finishing, designing and the finishing for all those optics.
That's awesome. It's fascinating. Okay, any additional questions from the board? Okay. If there are none, I just have a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind. So are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes.
Okay. Do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
We do not.
Okay. And are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
Yes.
Okay, right. No secret process for this project is complete. So at this time, I'd like to ask if there's a motion and a second for inducement and final resolution approving a sales tax exemption. Motioned by Brett and seconded by Norm. Any comments? Okay, that being the case, I'll take the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Brett?
Yay.
And, well, I guess, Ray is not here?
Ray is home with the flu,
Oh, okay.
so our thoughts are with Ray as he deals with the flu.
Okay,
Excused absence.
all right. Miguel?
Yes.
Okay, and it's a yes for me. The motion carries, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Okay, the second project that we have for consideration today is Indus Lake Road Incorporated. Anna, would you please read the project summary for us?
Certainly. Indus Lake Road Incorporated is proposing renovation of its 47,500 square foot Hampton Inn located in the town of Rockport. This project is considered retail under section 862 of the general municipal law. However, the project qualifies for benefits under the highly distressed area exception because the project is located contiguous to a highly distressed census tract. This finding by the agency will require confirming approval from the county executive. The 3-story property containing 76 guest rooms will undergo replacements of all furniture, fixtures, flooring, and window treatments. The hotel's lobby and other shared spaces will see similar upgrades to improve the property's aesthetics and functionality. The $1.7 million project is projected to create 1.5 FTEs over the next 3 years, in addition to retention of an existing 16.5 FTEs. The applicant is seeking approval of sales tax exemptions only, and the benefit to incentive ratio is 21 to 1.
Okay, perfect, thank you. We do have a couple of representatives here with us today from Indus Hospitality Group. We have John Ott, VP of Construction and Development. John, would you like to join us and provide any comments on the project?
Sure.
Welcome.
See you again. My name's John Ott. I'm the Vice President of Development and Construction for Indus Hospitality. This is Stephanie DePrima, our coordinator. We also have our President and CEO, Jeff Meadow. He said, "You guys got this." I'm just gonna sit back here and smile. Anyhow, this project is exciting to us. We've owned and operated this property since December of 2012. We built the property and maintained it ever since. And it is in definite need of a refresh. And Stephanie is gonna kind of go over some of the reasons why.
Hello everyone again, thanks for having us. So at a high level, this is about a real shortage of quality hotel rooms in Monroe County at a time when demand is growing. We are already seeing sports tournaments, convention center events, university activity, and tourism bump up against a lack of available rooms, and that is a lost economic activity that we do not get back. Hampton Inn is a proven, high-quality, value-oriented brand that consistently performs and serves exactly the type of guests that events bring. This project is a reinvestment in an existing, well-located asset, not a speculative new build. But the numbers simply do not work without assistance given today's construction costs and the heavy tax burden on hotels. Hotels are a key business infrastructure and an essential part of economic development, supporting tourism, higher education, workforce travel, and major events. The convention center cannot be moved. SUNY Brockport continues to grow, and if we want to remain competitive for events like PGA level tournaments and regional sports weekends, we need to maintain and upgrade our room inventory. COMIDA support here helps keep critical pieces of infrastructure modern and viable, keeping Monroe County open for business. Any questions?
It's a great summary, thank you. Brian?
Does Hampton require you to update the rooms every so often?
Yes, sir.
How often do they ask you to do that?
7 to 12 years.
7 to 12 years, okay. Used to be 5, I thought, not Hampton, but in hotels in general. Jet probably knows the answer to that.
You would probably know the answer to that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
And it varies by different brands. You're correct there.
Have you updated this hotel in the past, since 2012? That's the,
No, sir.
must be a little tired.
A little bit.
Okay.
This might be a little bit unorthodox, but we have Don Jeffries here from Visit Rochester. And if he would like to opine on the hotel situation here, it'd be, I think it's a great segue. It's a little bit.
Whatever she said.
No, I hear you.
No, it's true, and I can tell you, Jet and his crew are fantastic operators. As you know, we've got some challenges with other hotels, but not with this one. But they're right, we do lose some groups because we don't have enough hotel rooms. When the Radisson closed, we lost 436 rooms downtown. So, you know, we really need this, and if you've been to Jet's new hotel over by the Strong Museum, you can see what these guys do. So yeah, this is a real need, and there's a real payback. You know, it's sales tax, it's hotel motel tax. So yes, I fully support this. And besides, Jet's on my board.
Didn't know that, but I thought it would be great to get your insight on that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Any additional comments or questions? Sure, Howard?
Yeah, I would just say that I'm sure you all know that the budget passed, the county budget passed, and now we're focusing on next year's budget. It just never ends. And one of our concerns is making sure that our sales tax and hotel motel tax stay where they are, because it's an important source of revenue. So this would be a welcome addition and help us out greatly.
Will there ever be any thoughts on expansion of that property?
In that particular property, I don't believe there's an opportunity at this time.
Sure, Miguel?
Just curious, in what area is the 1.5 FTE? what type of role, the 1.5 FTE?
That you're creating.
The new jobs.
Sure. You'd be looking at maintenance and probably housekeeping, in those areas. Management team is pretty well set what management we need to keep the hotel, up and running.
Awesome. Okay, and I'll just say, I think we are very fortunate to have an operating group like Indus, who is committed to the region, who consistently shows their commitment to the region, not only by, investing in new projects, but you also, the philanthropic engagement, that you all have with various nonprofits around the region as well is admirable. So, this is the type of project I think that we should be considering, and so, at that point, I just guess I have a couple questions for you, and then we'll call the vote. John, should I address the questions to you or Stephanie? Sure, John, I'll address them to you. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes.
Great. Do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
No.
Okay. Are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
I am.
Okay, great. The secret process for this project is complete. So at this time, I'll ask if there's a motion and a second for inducement and final resolution approving the sales tax exemption.
So moved.
Moved by Brian, seconded by Lisa. I'll call the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Okay, great. Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
Ray is excused. Miguel?
Yes.
So yes for me as well. The motion carries. Congratulations. Thank you for your time. Okay, moving on. The third project that we have for consideration today is Columbus Building Apartments LP. Anna, would you please read the project summary for us?
Thank you, Truman. Columbus Building Apartments LP is proposing the redevelopment of 50 Chestnut Street in the city of Rochester. The mixed-use property, currently containing 101 one-bedroom and studio apartments, will convert 3 floors of unused commercial space into 30 new residential apartments. The new apartments will be a mix of 1 and 2 bedroom units ranging in price from $1,400 to $2,100 per month. The $7.9 million project is projected to create 1 FTE over 3 years. The applicant is seeking approval of sales and mortgage recording tax exemptions only, and is planning to request a real property tax abatement at a later date. The benefit to incentive ratio is 11 to 1.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Anna. We do have a representative here with us today, Ami Notis.
Yep.
Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Please join us and welcome.
Thank you.
Sure.
Just go over a little bit about the project. The building, like Anna said, is 50 Chestnut, which is not far from here. It's got a few floors that are currently vacant. They used to have commercial in them. Most of the building was converted in 2017, somewhere between 2017 and 2018, but there were still a few floors that were not converted, and there's also a fitness club area that's kind of empty and abandoned since 2011, so our idea is really to just make use of that empty vacant space and kind of fill it with units. And given the age of the building and cost of construction, it's just really hard to make the numbers work, especially at the kind of workforce housing rents that we're looking to be at. So we're here to kind of ask for this for mortgage tax exemption and sales tax.
Are there any questions? Okay. Robin, were there any comments at the public hearing which was held on December 11th?
There were not.
Okay. That being the case, I just have a couple questions for you. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes.
Do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
No.
Okay. Are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
I do.
Correct. The seeker process for this project has also been completed. So at this time, I'd like to ask if there is a motion and a second for inducement and final resolution approving the sales tax exemption and partial mortgage recording tax exemption.
Moving.
Moved by Norm, seconded by Brett. Should I wait until Brian is back to call the vote?
We have sufficient people.
We have enough? Okay, all right. All right, so we'll call the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Okay. Brian?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's not here. Excuse. Lisa?
Yes.
Rhett,
Yay.
Miguel,
Go back to you.
okay, and it's a yes for me as well. Brian, you were excused from this previous vote unless you like to.
Well, I did read it, so, but if you want to.
You
Sure,
can
we'll take your vote.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Garth Fagan had
All
his
right,
dance
perfect.
studio.
The motion carries, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody.
That concludes all of the new projects, and now we have project modifications. This month we have 10 project modifications. Okay, great. So the first one is Fairlife LLC for a mortgage recording tax exemption. Anna, would you please do us the benefit of reading the project summary?
Fairlife LLC is constructing a new manufacturing operation in the town of Webster to produce high-protein milk beverages using a cold filtration process. This 750,000 square foot manufacturing facility will include milk processing, warehouse, and support services buildings. And once operational early in 2026, the facility will be taking in 5 to 6 million pounds of raw whole milk per day from local dairy farmers. I understand they just took in their first shipment recently of that raw whole milk product. The project was approved for a custom 20-year pilot agreement as well as a sales tax exemption, and the applicant is now requesting a mortgage reporting tax exemption in the amount of $296,250 as it prepares to close on financing for the wastewater treatment plant constructed on the grounds of the project facility. A new public hearing was held, and the updated benefit to incentive ratio is 10 to 1.
Excellent. It's a lot of milk.
It is.
Should I say holy cow? That's a lot
Yeah,
of milk?
you're okay to use that joke.
My son drinks about half of that.
All right, excellent. We do have a project representative with us today via Zoom, Kevin McAuliffe. Kevin, welcome. Do you have any comments to make?
No, thank you very much, Chairman, members of the board. We're just ready to run a subordinate lease-back relationship with Solutions Group, and they will then finance a portion of the cost of this wastewater treatment plant, which is completely constructed, and we're actually on the verge of having a TCO from the town of Webster. And based upon the final mortgage amount, I don't think that the actual exemption will exceed $270,000, as the mortgage will be slightly less than 30. So this financing relates just to the wastewater treatment plant, and the lease-back will enter into with a group known as the Solutions Group that will then operate this wastewater treatment plant for the benefit of Fairlife.
Got it. Thank you. Right, I'm sorry, Howard, were you about to ask a question?
I just have something to say, but we can wait if you want.
No, go ahead.
I just want to remind people that they do have a pilot, a 20-year pilot, and
Sure.
some people think when there's a pilot, people pay no taxes. They are paying taxes.
Right.
It'll just increase over time, which helps us expand the base and contribute money to our county, school, and town budgets. Just a reminder, because there are people who think, they hear pilot, and they think, oh, they're not paying taxes. They are.
Exactly right. Thank you for the reminder. Any additional questions or comments? Okay. A new public hearing was held on December 15th, as the mortgage recording tax exemption benefit was not included in the original application or public hearing. Robin, were there any comments at the public hearing?
There were not any comments.
Okay. Great. Kevin, I have a couple of questions for you, if you're ready.
Certainly.
Oh, I didn't put
Oh,
these on
actually,
there.
no, we don't need any, we don't need to.
It
was on
the
previous
original,
one.
yeah.
Okay, great. So at this time, I guess, I'll ask if there's a motion to approve the partial mortgage recording tax exemption. Moved by Brett, seconded by Norm. I'll take the votes. Norm?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Brett?
Yay.
Miguel?
Yes.
So yes from me as well. The motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for your consideration of this matter. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everyone have a nice holiday season, and again, I want to thank you on behalf of Fairlife for the great working relationship between this board and Fairlife. We're almost at the end. Construction will be finished in 2026, and then we move on from there. Thanks.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Holy cow, that's great.
It's really something.
I can't wait till it gets paved, it's a mess of it'll be fun. Yeah.
Moving on to the next project, we have 733 Portland Properties LLC. This is for an increase and extension of sales tax exemption. Anna, would you please read the project summary?
Certainly. 733 Portland Properties LLC, a real estate holding company, is redeveloping a 29,241 square foot, mostly vacant apartment building in the city of Rochester. This facility will consist of 33 residential units and will be subjected to a regulatory agreement to keep the rents affordable to individuals and families earning 65% of area median income or less. The project was initially approved for a real property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax exemption, and sales tax exemption in October of 2024, and the applicant is now requesting an increase of the sales and mortgage recording tax exemptions, as well as an extension of the sales tax exemptions through December 31st, 2027. These requests are attributed to changes in the structure of project financing and delays related to electrical system upgrades, and the new sales tax exemption is not to exceed $122,084, and the mortgage recording tax exemption is not to exceed $42,781.
Thank you, Anna. We do have a representative here with us today. We were supposed to have two, Patricia Cruz, but I just Paul. Okay, there she is. Patricia Cruz and Paul Irving. Welcome.
Good afternoon. So I'm Paul Irving. This is my wife, Patricia Cruz Irving. We are the husband-wife team that owns the building. We're not some big corporation. We were supposed to close on this project last year, but of course the state's involved. We all know what happens when the state's involved. And they kept wanting to tweak, and then we had to go back to our sustainability, third-party provider, our engineer, and back and forth. First it was gonna be a partial electrical upgrade, putting in the split heat pumps and coolant system, but keep the domestic hot water gas and the stoves gas, but then HCR from the state decided it's all gotta be electric. So back to the engineer, and now we realized there's not enough power coming into the building to handle that. So now we gotta rip out all the meters, service to the building, and that's $500,000. So, thank you very much HCR, but that's what we're gonna do when they ask, and that's the reason for the increase in the budget, and now the building will be 100% electric.
Feel your pain. Happened to me before in a previous role that I had with the multifamily project back in Illinois, and definitely having to do those electrical capacity studies, and then you think you have sufficient electrical power, and then finds out you have to completely redo everything. It definitely has an impact on the bottom line of your budget. So
we're finally supposed to close December 22nd, but that just got kicked out in 2
sure.
weeks. So.
Question on dealing with the local utility. Are they giving you any concerns about capacity on that line there on Portland Avenue?
Not in that part of the city. There's sufficient capacity. Because
Okay.
we were aware of what happened down in Canandaigua. We wanted to
Okay.
make sure that didn't happen to us. So.
All right.
Sure.
And then are you able to get the right equipment in? I mean, I know there's a long lead time on that, and are you in place for that?
Our contractor is very satisfied. They're gonna be able to get everything they need within the time frame that we're gonna do the job.
You just have to upgrade the panels, right? Is that what you're doing?
Well, the electrical systems, the entire system, because it couldn't handle, now you got electric stoves, you got electric everything.
Sure.
Before there was just lights and some plugs.
They probably have to bring in a different trunk, load. Their load there.
Yeah, they're gonna have to dig in,
Yeah,
a whole new
they
service.
have to bring a new service in there, possibly worth your while to put in your own transformer. I don't know if that's something down the road. But I drive by there, I look, and I was hoping to see activity there, and
So were we.
As a former major felony prosecutor from Monroe County and a former worker at Bureau American Action League, we know the impact this project will have on that neighborhood. Our demand generator is Rochester General Hospital. Tricia did an amazing study there. There's over 10,000 people working either at the hospital or the satellite supporting offices. 55% of those people make $50,000 a year or less. That's our target for that building. And when we finish this, we're gonna start it.
And it's perfect because that house inside is on a major arterial. That's a great transportation hub. You fit right in with RGRTA and what they do, and having quality housing there is so important for that community.
We're less than 3/4 of a mile from the hospital.
Any additional questions or comments? If there are none, is there a motion to approve an increase in project costs and an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2027?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Lisa, seconded by
Second.
Brian. I'll take the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
Miguel?
Yes.
Yes for me as well. The motion carries. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Keep up the good work.
Okay, moving on, the third project, QED Technologies International LLC. Now, this is for an increase and extension of sales tax exemption. Anna, would you please read the project summary for us?
QED Technologies International LLC is renovating and expanding into a 20,000 square foot facility adjacent to their current location in the city of Rochester. Originally approved in May 2025, the applicant is now requesting an increase in project costs of $2,249,000 because some of the plans needed to be redesigned, and an extension of the sales tax exemption is also being requested through December 31st, 2026 due to construction delays. Thus, the total project cost is now $6,063,014, and the new sales tax exemption is not to exceed $192,080.
Thank you, Anna.
My apologies that we do have.
No worries. Yeah, it appears we have some representatives. Would you please introduce yourselves to us and feel free to make any comments that you have.
Sure, I'm Shannon Weaver, the Human Resources Manager at QED Technologies, and this is Nancy Ryder, who's the Project Manager for this project.
Okay.
And,
Good afternoon.
I think their application was pretty self-explanatory. There've been some delays, there's been some changes, and obviously costs have gone up, and so, we're just asking for a little bit more.
Well, thank you for joining us today. Is there a motion to approve an increase in project costs and an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2026?
So move.
Moved by Norm, seconded by Rhett. I'll take the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
Ray is excused. Miguel?
Yes.
It's a yes for me as well. Motion carries. Congratulations. Yes, Howard?
Yeah, I just have one quick question. I wanted to see if my memory is solid. Did you keep workers here instead of sending them to Arizona?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, because I remember, that's a wonderful thing you're doing. Thank you. Thank you.
We're excited to keep it all here and all in one place.
Yeah, so are we. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Take care. Okay. Making pretty good time. All right. The next project on the agenda, 145 LLC. This is for an extension of sales tax exemption. It's a tongue twister. Anna, would you please read the project summary, please?
Yes, 145 LLC, a real estate holding company, is planning to demolish an existing 14,000 square foot building to construct a new 80,000 square foot apartment building in the neighborhood of the Arts in the city of Rochester. This project was originally approved in June of 2021 for a real property tax abatement, mortgage reporting tax, and sales tax exemptions, and the applicant was approved for an increase and extension of sales tax exemptions in December of 2023. The applicant is now seeking an extension of those sales tax exemptions through December 31st of 2028. The project is ready to move forward. However, market demands have caused the applicant to reduce the number of units from 48 to 39, resulting in an overall decrease in project costs. The new sales tax exemption is now not to exceed $348,640.
Thank you, Anna. We do have a representative here with us today, Alan Stern, who's the owner and developer. Alan, welcome. Do you have any comments to make?
Excuse me?
Would you like to make any comments?
What we decided to do is redesign the building and reduce the number of apartments and reduce the cost. The interior will still remain, the finishes will still remain the same as we previously planned. We're going to do away with interior parking and simplify the exterior to be more of exterior insulation finish system and metal siding as opposed to a brick finish. Bring the cost down and try to make the apartments more market rate but affordable. We're finding the market, the need of the market right now. There's more demand for that.
Sure, absolutely.
So you shifted your focus, it referenced demand, and so tell me about what's happening with the demand.
Well, initially we were going to be on the higher end.
Okay.
But the they're gonna be listed between $1,900 and $3,000. But we're finding that there's not much demand for that, any more and more affordable.
Okay.
That's what we're shooting for right now.
Well, I mean, that's where we need it.
We do.
But it's interesting that I was under the impression there was demand up and down the market, but maybe just not in that neighborhood. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for keeping the Stern legacy going.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
You guys have done a wonderful job with that area over there, neighborhood of the arts. It's beautiful. Okay, let's see. I guess I should mention that this project was also previously approved for a pilot, correct?
It was, and at the time, the board had included a set aside in the
Right.
pilot. So you will hear in the motion that given the rent range of this apartment, it'd be more appropriate to apply the current housing study recommendations, which we'll report out on in a little bit as well.
From the governance committee. Yeah. So the motion will include a motion to apply the new standard for the pilot agreement for residential projects, but it will be subject to approval and adoption by the board. Okay? All right, great. So, at this time, is there a motion to approve an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2028, and to apply the current recommendations, subject to approval from the housing study to this project? Moved by Miguel. Congratulations. It's your first.
I'll second.
And second, well, Brett beat you to it. So second, seconded by Red. Okay. And so at this time, I'll take the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Okay, great. Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Red?
Yay.
Red is excused. Miguel?
Yes.
Okay, and it's a yes for me as well. Congratulations, motion carries.
Thank you for your time, and happy holidays.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care. All right, and now there's a part that I absolutely love. Thank you for doing this. We have, a holistic approval for various summaries or project modifications that we have. And so summaries for the following projects seeking extensions of the sales tax exemption were provided to the board, and there will be one motion to approve all of them. So I'll just, call up what those projects are.
We do have Fred here, if anyone had questions about the Riverwood one.
Oh, sure, okay. Hey Fred, how are you? Great. So we have Riverwood Tech Campus LLC, that's an extension. Fred, would you like to provide any comments for us? Comments are always great.
I'll be brief. Good afternoon.
Sure.
Congratulations, and congratulations, Chairman. The Tech Campus, Riverwood Tech Campus, was designed to be a true form-fit, multi-tenanted tech environment. We filter accordingly, and we knew walking into this with our first tenant, eLogic, opening in 2018, that it is far more likely to be exposed to M&A, expansions, contractions. So having this incredible campus that Kodak built with underground portions that allow connectivity to all four of the existing structures, we knew that it would provide a very fluid, user-friendly, and environment to accommodate that very thing. Since we've brought the project online, we've had just that: 3 significant acquisitions, also signaling by KV signaling. Crown Castle is going through a second round right now. Pharos was acquired, and we just are welcoming G&W Rail quite literally as we speak, which is very exciting. It keeps us active on site. We have had construction activities consistent since we broke ground initially, and we do have a 5th and final building site, which I hope to be announcing some incredible news entering the second quarter of next year. This is something that our organization very much enjoys, the consistent construction activities, and the extension is representative of just that. So we're active in build-outs right now, and we've been able to accommodate the expansions of all the existing tenants and the new ones without interrupting any natural operations. And if anybody would like a tour of the campus, we'd love to do that. It's pretty fun. We're 0.8 miles down the street from RIT, which we're very proud of, and the environment has seen a lot of awesome categories of development in and of itself. So we are beyond appreciative of your support, and I look forward to continuing the evolution of Riverwood Tech.
Thank you, Fred. Does anyone have any questions for Fred? No? Again, thank you for, Chloe, the commitment that, you and your family have had to the area. Your projects are phenomenal, the design aesthetic, and how you all carry them through, how you own and operate them is commendable. So, thank you for your commitment to Rochester and the region as well. So, thank you for being here.
Absolutely, we appreciate the partnership, truly. So, happy holidays. Cheers.
Sounds good to see you. Okay, we also have Howard Bay LLC, which is an extension, Sibley Redevelopment 2 Limited for an extension, Galena Elm Grove LLC, which is for an extension, the Raymond Corp., which is for an extension, and JK Property Solutions LLC, which is for an extension. Is there a motion to approve all of the projects seeking extensions of the sales tax exemptions? Moved by Rhett, seconded by Brian. I'll call the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
Rhett is excused. Miguel?
Yes.
And it's a yes for me as well. Okay, so the motion carries. All right, great. Moving on, the next item on the agenda is for the Executive Director discussion items. The first one is for the Special Olympics support request. Anna, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you,
Sure.
Truman. And I'm very pleased that we are joined here today by the special guest from the Special Olympics of New York, Kelly Lagozio, and Monroe County Executive Adam Bello, myself had the pleasure of meeting with Kelly and Stacy Hegsterman, who's the CEO. Recently, the Special Olympics in New York is bringing the Winter Games to the Rochester region this coming winter, I believe in February, and many hundreds of visitors, perhaps in the thousands, are going to be coming, and their families, as well as volunteers, are going to be coming to our area to support the event and related programming around the event. So kind of going back to our conversation earlier about hotel rooms and tourism and the economic impact. So I want to welcome Kelly up to the podium to talk a little bit more about Special Olympics New York and this request today. This is a $20,000 ask of our community development line in our budget.
Good afternoon. I just want to start off by thanking all of you so very much for this opportunity for consideration and to share what we do locally and statewide. So just to start off, thank you for considering this investment. We are coming back year 2 out of 3 years here in Rochester in Monroe County for the State Winter Games. It's February 20th to the 22nd. We have over 575 athletes and coaches, 350 volunteers that will be, and their families. So looking over 1,000 people that will be here for the weekend. And trust me, when we come in, we come. We come in, we're a force to be reckoned with. Home base, as I like to call it, is at the Rochester Riverside Convention Center. That's where on Friday night we have opening ceremonies where let me just take a step back. These are the best of the athletes that are from across New York State, from Long Island to Buffalo to Binghamton to Watertown. These are the best athletes that are going to be competing in alpine, figure skating, gymnastics, floorball, just to name a few, downhill skiing, and and snowshoe. Snowshoe's huge over right here at the Rochester City Complex. And they are competing for the gold. And they start off with a parade of athletes and at the convention center with opening ceremonies. And on Saturday they get up, they have a good breakfast. We are in 450 rooms that we will be occupying around the county. And they're out getting the gold. And they come back for a fabulous dinner, and then we have the ultimate dance party like no other that closes the ceremonies. On top of it, when they're here, they actually have an opportunity to, we have a healthy athlete village where they can get their eyes checked, their feet checked, their mental health checked. We encourage them, we incentivize them to visit all these different disciplines. So we're there to not only compete, but also our mission is to give them every opportunity off and on the field or court to be not only the best that they can be, to make friendships, to be the healthiest they can be. Our request that we submitted was for lodging. for $20,000. But, if you can, and just on a side note, we do need volunteers. We're looking for 350 volunteers that supports us across the county, that weekend. So if you're interested, please let me know. We'd be happy to send you the form to sign up.
You're enthusiastic.
I know.
Well, I just celebrated 10 years, and my cousin's an athlete, and my brother and my sister, brother-in-law is an athlete up in Albany. So Special Olympics is very near and dear to me.
Well, you can tell when people are passionate about what they do.
Yes, we love it.
Comes through your comments and your presence, so.
Thank you.
We're lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Sure.
We need people like you.
Okay. Let me know. But thank you again for the consideration. We really appreciate it.
Any questions or comments? Howard?
You know, I would just say that, as a retired high school principal and superintendent of schools, especially as a superintendent of schools, I used to get a little criticism from Albany about how much money we spent on providing programs for students with special needs. And quite honestly, I was proud of that criticism. When students need services, we give it to them.
Well, and just an aside note, I mean, I believe the future of Special Olympics overall is our Unified program. If you have children or grandchildren in schools, the Unified program it pairs students with and without intellectual disabilities, and what's a commonality? Sports. So they come together, and Unified is through the schools, and we are so proud throughout Monroe County to have one of the largest groups of students throughout Monroe County and school districts that participate in Unified. And what does it foster? Anti-bullying. It gives every opportunity for a person with intellectual differences who maybe wouldn't have lunch with you or me. Now they do. Because what? Because they're on the same team together. So we do bowling and basketball, and we're about track and field, but it's the future of our organization because it educates the parents in the home about inclusion and being acceptance of all. So thank you for what you do because Unified is our future.
Sure. Miguel, thank you.
Are local non-for-profits involved in this? Do you involve them? Like Mary Carriolas of the world? Or?
Yeah, Mary Carriol is one of our, so how, we have teams, we have clubs. Mary Carriola has a club, Holy Childhood has a club. And there's also families that are coaches as well. But yes, we work directly with local nonprofits and schools and their clubs, and their students participate.
Excellent, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
I'd just like to say that those children, and I spent years volunteering, those children touch lives everywhere.
Well, they're savvy too. They know. I mean, we support athletes from this onset of 2 years old up until we have an athlete who is 65 years old. She has 80 gold medals.
Any additional questions, comments? Okay. If there are none, I'll ask if there's a motion to approve a contract with Special Olympics New York for the 2026 Winter State Games being held in Rochester for $20,000.
So moved.
All right, moved by Lisa, seconded by Rhett. I'll call the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
Ray is excused. Miguel?
Yes.
It's a yes for me. Congratulations.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay. Moving on. Now we have Visit Rochester. This is for a marketing request. Anna, turn it over to you.
Thank you, Truman.
Sure.
And again, the theme here today is all about tourism, supporting the cultural community here in Greater Rochester. As you may know, 2026 will mark the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. And while this is a national celebration, and first geographies that might come to mind are Washington, D.C., or Williamsburg, or Philadelphia, Greater Rochester actually also had quite a significant role, not just in the early days of the founding of American democracy, but as American democracy continued to evolve through the years. And there is a state grant that's coming due to Monroe County to support celebrations throughout Greater Rochester and educational programming around the 250th. It's from the Education Department, and It's limited at $50,000, and we'd like to really, in Monroe County and Greater Rochester, do more than we could with $50,000. So, the idea for furtherance of that to the tune of $150,000 through a contract with COMIDA, not dissimilar from the contract that we entered into with Visit Rochester in light of the PGA and the forthcoming Eclipse planning and engagement efforts in 2023 and 2024 was proposed. And I'm pleased that Don Jeffries and Diana Rapp-Keating from Visit Rochester are here today to present this request, and we'll take any questions from the board. But this is a $150,000 request, again, from our community development budget.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you to this board, not just for this, but you improved Jet's Hotel for me today. And Special Olympics, a little note on Special Olympics, they usually do 2-year deals and move to the next community. It went so well the first year, they signed a 3-year deal, and it's the first time they've ever done that. So thank you for your help with that too. So great, well thank you for helping us with the America's 250. It's once in a generational moment for Monroe County. We did not play a central role in the revolution itself, but the byproducts of that came to Rochester in innovation, civil rights, community resilience. We call this the evolution of the revolution. Monroe County is a major player in tourism, $1.5 billion economic impact, 18,000 local jobs, and 1.5 million visitors. This America 250 gives us the opportunity to attract new visitors and engage longer stays, increase spending at our hotels, our restaurants, and our attractions. But it's also an important investment in the quality of life for residents in Monroe County. And Monroe County is a great place to come to live, work, and invest. We are asking for $150,000 in support programming. I think the board did receive our item on, I think you received all of this, with a complete overview of what we plan to do with the money. And just to kind of give a synopsis, we're looking at a 1-day family-friendly civic event, a huge event. And this will attract visitors. And if you look at the region, what's going to be happening in the region, nothing this big. You know, we want to be the place to come for the 250th. And one of the things we're going to do as a side note is we're going to talk to every village mayor, every town supervisor, and get what they're doing in their towns. And we're going to put it on our website, and we're going to broadcast that so everybody knows what's going on. And we're going to stay away from the 4th of July because a lot of it's going on. It'll be just hopefully before that. So we're excited about that. It's going to, besides the 1-day thing, it'll include live performance, reenactive, it'll create moments to celebrate the 250. We are also going to be doing some things like storytelling. We're going to work with our partners at the Museum and Science Center, Genesee Country Village, Georgia Eastman Museum, the Strong, the MAG, and Susan B. Anthony Museum for local tours and guides. This is a long-term investment in the America 250. Examples include it's going to be digital. We're going to have an awful lot of advertising going into this, and it's going to be year-long. Every month we're going to celebrate something, and it'll be fun. And what we're talking to right now is doing monthly giveaways. We're going to talk to our partners at Seabreeze, the museum, and whatever, and we'll have a monthly giveaway to come. We're going to put the 501 members, we got a new one this morning, 501 members of Visit Rochester to work on this. So it'll be a community-wide event. But some of the things we'll be celebrating: Black History Month, Women's History, Deaf History, Indigent History Month, and Heritage Month. And it'll keep us visible all year long. We don't want to make this a one thing. We want to do it all year long. What do we expect? We expect, and we have computer program models that do these things, we expect 20 to 30,000 incremental visitors, which will be 10 to 15,000 additional hotel room nights, $900 to $1.6 million in tax revenue. Okay? Okay. And the ROI will be terrific for this. Visit Rochester is in a great position to do this. We look forward to doing this for our community. And the other thing we're gonna do is when we have the one big event that we talk about, we're gonna invite meeting planners from across the country in to visit with us so we can promote Rochester as a place to book your meetings and conventions. We book about 120 meetings and conventions and about 130 sporting events every year. So with that, we want to increase the sales tax and the hotel motel tax. And thank you. And if you have any questions, if they're easy, ask me. If they're hard, ask her.
I'm not sure I really have anything to add. Don really covered everything.
Well, you wrote it.
And it's for this proposal is about connecting people to place, to history, and to opportunity. America's 250 gives Monroe County a rare platform to showcase who we are, what we stand for, and how this community continues to move the nation forward. This investment allows us to generate millions in economic impact, elevate Monroe County's brand, and create experiences that residents and visitors alike can be proud of. And we're excited about what's possible, and hopefully working with you on this. Thank you.
That's great.
Okay.
I just want to thank you for the thoughtful approach and detailed information and write-up that you all provided. There's a lot of useful and very informative information in here. Some things that I didn't know, so I definitely appreciate you coming prepared. Brian, do you have a question?
Yeah, I had a question. Well, first of all, to echo Truman, it's very impressive and exciting. How and probably necessary in relation to the question I'm about to ask, how is tourism going so far this year? Do you have any 6-month or 9-month numbers?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Good.
Yeah, we had a record-breaking year in meetings and conventions, and the sports business is huge.
Okay.
And it's a lot of the youth hockey that we get. It's amazing to see.
It's interesting.
And we did feel a little pinch from the Canadian side.
That's what I was curious about.
Yeah, the Canadian side, we were down a little bit. I know that Strong said they were down like 18% or whatever. But one of the things we did, when a lot of the people pulled back on advertising in Canada, we did not. We went up and we changed the program. We said, we're ready when you are. And that program, Diana wrote it, and it was, but I'll take the credit. No, Diana does all that. She wrote it, and what was the stat? This morning we got some statistics.
Aside from that campaign, which was called Dear Canada and was presented in the form of a love letter to our neighbors to the north, we did a small campaign that was directly tied to Expedia bookings, and we saw a 25% increase year over year. So we were up to almost 1,100 room nights just from that small investment directly with Expedia that we can attribute to that campaign. There's more beyond. But that was an extra over $200,000 in gross revenue just from those room nights.
Good for you, because it was a time to be aggressive, and I'm hearing different stories, particularly out of Buffalo, and it sounds like you've been able to
and I think just
negate the
they
impact.
made a mistake. You don't pull back when things are bad. You go after it.
That's right.
So and we're excited. In 27 we have the U.S. Amateur, and 28 we've got the PGA Junior Championship. So we're looking at
That means we'll be back.
Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. If there are no additional discussion items on this, I'll ask if there's a motion to approve that the execution and delivery of a contract with Visit Rochester for economic development, tourism promotion, in an amount not to exceed $150,000 for 1 year.
I'll move it.
Moved by Brian, seconded by, give this one. Seconded by.
Randy, he's so quick with his hands.
Yeah. You should play Jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
It's truly comical sitting across from you guys watching you. You should get buzzers.
We just try and fill in on this side every so often.
Okay, I'll call the vote now. Norm?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
Reyes, excuse, Miguel?
Mr. Chairman, that's my boss, so council advised that I abstain, so I'm abstaining.
No worries. Miguel abstains, okay. Thank you. And it's a yes for me. The motion carries. Congratulations. Chair of the board.
I normally give him a hard time. I'm glad I didn't.
I thought you invited him to see if I would behave.
I also chair the compensation committee.
Congratulations. Congratulations, the motion carries. Thank you for your time.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
thank you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And good luck, you know, that's awesome.
Okay, the next one's very important.
All right, okay, moving on,
For staff.
for consideration, we have a new, CRM, which is a customer relationship management platform, and a project database for purchase. Anna, would you please, give us a summary?
Yes,
An overview, please.
absolutely. So in the spirit of continuing to lean into modern technology and working smarter, all of you are using your iPads, and we're getting accustomed to onboard. We've been exploring the use of a better, more functional customer relationship management platform that meets the needs of COMIDA and just the county's economic development functions for some time. And there's a company called CivicServe, and that's developed a technological platform that is customized for industrial development agencies, the work of economic development organizations. It's going to help streamline operations for staff and project management, follows the life cycle of each project from initial communications to all the way to board approval to compliance and ultimately Paris reporting, which is our favorite activity of the year. And our sister board, MCIDC, is also going to be contributing a portion of an annual subscription fee for county economic development staff. So this is an amount not to exceed $35,000 for 1 year to utilize CivicServe.
Is that gonna represent all of Monroe County or just industrial development?
So MCIDC is carrying a portion of the cost, as is COMIDA, but that's what we're proposing today. And our economic development staff at the county level is pretty much everybody in this room here today that's not on the board. So those of us who are here that do project management on behalf of COMIDA and MCIDC will have access to.
So this program won't have any effect on the rest of Monroe County? And
No,
okay.
it's like a Salesforce, but for economic development
Okay.
organizations.
Thank you, sorry.
It sounds like you get a save out of this, or either a reallocation of effort by people into more productive pursuits, is that the?
Well said, yes,
Okay.
yes, it allows staff to spend less time focused on organizing spreadsheets and organizing emails into folders and out in the community, reaching out to businesses.
That means less drinking for the Paris report.
Less drinking, yes.
Any
That's
other
healthy.
discussion regarding this topic? Good, there are none. I'll ask if there's a motion to approve the execution and delivery of a contract with CivicServe for a CRM database software program in an amount not to exceed $35,000 for 1 year. Moved by Miguel, seconded by Red. I'll call the vote. Norman?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Red?
Yay.
Red's excused. Miguel?
Yes.
And it's a yes from me, so motion carries.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can't wait to see the dashboards. Are dashboards going to change?
Yes.
They are? Okay.
Yeah, now, you gotta give me some time,
Right.
but
Sure.
yes, they will change.
Okay.
Yep.
That's great. So, item D, the 2026 meeting schedule, calendar invitations have been distributed. Has everyone received them?
No, because I haven't.
Oh, you haven't sent them yet?
Because I was trying to figure out if we should do them from Outlook or from Onboard.
On board.
On board, yeah, I would think. Can we do both? Like,
That's what I said, just do both for this year, and then next year we'll just do Onboard.
Sure.
Let's transition everyone slowly. Not make anything shocking.
I need a year, yeah.
And moving on to the dashboard, Anna, would you please review the current dashboard for us, please?
Certainly.
Right.
As you can see, we are tracking kind of shoulder to shoulder with 2024 in terms of the overall volume of projects themselves, but the amount, the capital investments associated with the projects, the jobs associated with the projects are a little bit lower compared to 2024, and that of course tracks with everything that you may be reading and taking in from the news media about what's happening in the economy. And I was just at the Workforce Development Board meeting this morning, and while things are cranking along in the local economy, the job market is it's tight and it's continuing to soften a little bit. It's not, the dialogue isn't really served by the fact that there's no data coming down from the federal government to help us really better understand and track what's happening with the economy. So you see that reflected in a microcosm in the look back on COMIDA's calendar. Likewise for fees, we have some relatively significant outstanding fees, and I think Greg kind of touched on this in his remarks earlier. But in any case, we are not here to try to push activity that wouldn't otherwise happen, or well, that would otherwise happen without our involvement. We're here to support economic activity that wouldn't otherwise happen without the powers and capabilities of the IDA. So looking ahead in 2026, we're looking to ramp up our outreach efforts to try to get in front of more project owners, more decision makers, to make sure that greater variety, diversity of business owners and leaders in the community know what we can do. Also partnering more closely with Greater Rochester Enterprise and connecting with them more frequently throughout the year to compare our respective project pipelines, such that we can try to increase our activity in 2026 and meet the needs of the economy. Are there any questions about what you see reflected here on the dashboard? Nothing alarming or relatively outstanding here.
No.
Thanks.
Any questions or comments? If there are none, we'll now move into executive session. So I'll ask if there is a motion to enter into executive session under Section 105F of the Public Officers Law for the purpose of discussing employment history and performance of certain persons. Moved by Brett, seconded by Brian. Okay. Sure. All right, so are we?
We gotta go.
Yeah. But we're not recording anymore?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
perfect. So at this time, I'd like to ask if there are motions to accept, employee performance evaluations and approve scheduled salary step increases, subject to and at the discretion of the executive director on the lease.
I'll make a motion to.
Second.
Moved by Lisa, seconded by Brian. Well, I guess I'll call the vote individually. Norm?
Yes.
Okay, Miguel?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
It's a yes for me as well. Motion carries. Great, okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Thank you to staff.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, moving on now to the governance committee report. Norm, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chair.
Sure.
The governance committee that is made up of the Honorable Rhett King and the Chair Norman Jones and the Chair of the Board, Truman Tolfrey, met on December 8th to review the draft housing study and the recommendations that were discussed at the November COMIDA board meeting. The study confirms the housing market in Monroe County is facing significant pressure due to increased demand and limited supply. New York State is focused on creating new housing opportunities statewide. Governor Hochul has requested over 800,000 affordable housing units to be created in the next 5 years, and this is one of the reasons why the study is quite timely. The committee reviewed the 3 proposed abatement schedules for the housing projects. The committee suggested changing the standard 10-year abatement schedule to be more aggressive at the beginning so that the first 2 years are 90% abatement and then 10% increase over the 10-year period. The committee discussed adjusting COMIDA's industrial manufacturing project abatement schedules to match the new proposed housing schedules due to the different financing structures of the commercial versus housing projects. Staff will provide greater details in a comparison of potential options at the next committee meeting. Staff will also share some recommended changes to the COMIDA UTEP, the Uniform Tax Exempt policy that will be reviewed at the next meeting in January. The government committee recommends that the full board accept the housing study with the changes to the abatement schedule as discussed. I just have to say, Robin, Allison, Anna, Rachel, thank you for, really taking this task on, full-throated and making it something that we now have a tool that we can use to make sure that we're making qualified decisions on how we basically, send out our resources. Really appreciate it. Thank you for listening to me. Chair, I recommend that we approve the study and disseminate it to the public.
Sure.
So I need a motion.
So moved.
Well, any questions or comments or discussions regarding the study? No? Okay. All right, so I guess he called the motion, but it was moved by Rhett and seconded by Brian, and so I guess I'll call the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, so the motion is we actually need to call the motion, right? So the motion to accept the housing study and recommendations as presented as reviewed by the governance committee. So moved by Rhett and seconded by Brian. I'll call the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Okay. Miguel?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
Lisa?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
It's a yes for me as well, so congratulations.
Yeah.
Did we do that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I wanted to
You
make
got
sure.
it. You got it.
MRB came through quickly and they did a great job.
Oh,
They did do a great
yeah, MRB was, I thought their pricing was a little, listen, we can't do it for this amount. I mean, they should be a little bit higher, but they came in and provided the quality.
Yep.
To us. And what's great,
They listened to us, which was really important. Yeah.
and what's great about this is that they recommended that this is not a one-time document, that it's a living document, that we should always look to keep it going and keep it going.
Excellent. So, chair discussion items. Honestly, there are none. I think what we need to do is follow up on a couple of the points that we discussed earlier today with some conversations on it with you and Norm with you and with Rhett and with Howard as well. We'll follow up, in the coming days, so we'll have those conversations. But that's it for for me. Clearly want to wish everyone happy holidays, until we see you guys again next month. And, with that being the case, meeting is adjourned. Thanks for your time.
Hey, welcome aboard, my friend. It's good seeing you. Our meetings, they don't normally last this long, so.
Thank you.
But,
Yeah, they're not